Hi friends, thank you for joining me here at Yaya's Heart Tarot. Today I'll be doing 3 readings, messages from departed loved ones. I'll introduce each of the groups and then take your time to pick whichever reading calls to you. Each of the readings will be linked in the description with a timestamp, so whichever reading you choose, you can click on your timestamp and go directly to that reading. These readings are general readings, so they may not resonate with everyone, but it is my hope that messages will come through for each and every one of you that are comforting and uplifting and a genuine connection to your loved ones. So let's go ahead and get started with the groups. We have group number 1, which is a green fluorite sphere. We have group number 2, which is a purple sphere, which I honestly don't remember what this sphere is. It could be Tiffany stone. It could be orca agate, but we're going to call it the purple sphere. And I felt drawn to use this sphere, so there we are. And then group number 3 is the Oregon Chakra sphere with a copper spiral. So group number 1, the green sphere, group number 2, the purple sphere, and group number 3, the chakra sphere. So take some time to connect with one of the groups, or more than one of the groups if you feel drawn to more than one. If you would like to bring a particular loved one to mind, that is fine. Sometimes that helps them to come through. But even if you don't want to bring a particular loved one to mind, they will come through for you and they will identify themselves. So once you've selected your group, click on your timestamp and I will see you at your reading. Hi, group number 1. This is your reading, the group sphere. Excuse me. The green sphere, green fluorite. I don't know if you can hear or not, but we've got geese flying over. Sounds like a pretty big flock. So let's go ahead and get started. The first message that we would like to get from your loved one is who they are. Who's coming through for group 1? Spirit, please provide us clear guided messages for who is coming through for group 1. Who is coming through for group 1, please? Okay. Well, we got the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and the King of Cups. So this individual was probably fairly old when they passed. They had come through their life and actually lived a very full life, almost to completion of all of their wishes and desires. This person was very abundant. They were very kind. This is someone who was open and affectionate and very generous. This is, I'm feeling sort of a mother energy with this, even though we have the king here. This may have been, it may have been a man or a woman, but I'm definitely being drawn to the woman on this card, but feeling as though she was a woman who embodied some very masculine energy, and I don't necessarily mean, by that I mean that she was someone who was very capable of handling things on her own. She was very good with her hands. She could build things and fix things and grow things. She or he, again, it definitely could have been a man as well, but I'm just getting a feminine vibe from this. A woman vibe, but a woman who is very capable, very strong, very independent. Although by independent she wasn't necessarily on her own, but she was quite capable to do things on her own, even though I feel as though she was in probably a very committed relationship, a very committed family through much of her life. I feel like, in fact, that she probably had not only a partner in life, but potentially other generations of family, children, grandchildren, what have you. I also feel as though this person traveled. Yeah, I feel like they were really fond of traveling, especially as they got older and their children left the house, sort of in their golden years, in their retirement years. I feel like this was someone who loved to see the world, and they did. So that's who's coming through for you. So Spirit, thank you for that message. Next, let's see. We'd like to know, please, Spirit, how this departed, how you departed, and your loved ones from group 1 were connected. How were you connected to the individual in group 1? How was this loved one connected to you, group 1? Okay. Well, we got the 7 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the Judgment card, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the 3 of Swords. This was someone that you felt a bit deserted by. You felt as though this individual was not there for you when you needed them to be, but they actually were there for you, but they knew that you needed to stand on your own feet. They refused to rescue you, and that made them extremely sad. They wanted to reach out to you. They wanted to rescue you when you needed it, but they knew that if they did that, you would never grow and learn the lesson of being able to support yourself. So I feel as though this individual was potentially maybe a grandparent to you. And again, going back to this individual being someone who could stand on their own 2 feet and be very firm and be very confident in themselves, I feel as though that kind of came into play here, that there may have been a time that you asked them to loan you money or give you a place to stay. I feel as though there was some conflict in your life, perhaps with a parent, and you had a break with them. You felt that they had, I keep hearing offended, but I think it was deeper than that. I feel like you felt like they abandoned you, or that they were imposing some restrictions on you or some judgment on you that you didn't feel like it was fair. And so there was a sort of a tearing between you and these 2 other individuals. And I don't know why I just said 2, except I was looking at this 5 of Cups, and over here there's the 2 individuals, and then there's the 3 cups over, the 2 cups here and the 3 cups there, and you're in the middle. So I feel as though you may have 3 other siblings, So there may have been a time that you felt that your parents were favoring your 3 other siblings and leaving you out in the cold. Again, we've got this card here that has 2 swords over here that are standing apart from you. So I feel as though you were in a situation where you felt that 2 individuals, and most likely your parents, were being unfair to you, and you broke away from them. There were likely some, we've got the Queen of Swords reversed, there were likely some really harsh words that were said that there was kind of no coming back from. I mean, there were probably some just some blame that was thrown around, there was just a lot of harsh words that were said that kind of tore things between you and these 2 individuals. It created some just really significant heartache on both sides. I feel like here we've got the 3 swords, so I feel as though 1 is you and the 2 are the other 2 individuals. Again, I think it was probably your parents. And this created a heart wound for all 3 of you. All 3 of you were wounded by this situation, and you weren't able to come back together. So I feel as though you reached out to this loved one, this departed loved one, and you wanted them to take you in or to take your side, and they wouldn't. They may have given you some advice. They may have tried to point you in the right direction, but they didn't give you as much as you wanted from them. And so there was kind of a rift created there as well. You felt as though they should have taken your side. You may have always been maybe your grandmother's favorite. And so when this happened, that there was this tearing apart between you and these other individuals, you felt as though this departed loved one, you never doubted that they would take you in and give you whatever it was that you were asking for and needed, but they didn't. And at the time, you didn't understand that they did that because they knew if they did, this situation would never get resolved. You would never go back and mend the fences that had been torn down. If they gave you this shelter, if they gave you this kind of a protective bubble, so you didn't have to go back to this. It would give you, too much of a comfort zone, so you didn't have to try and fix things with, like I said, very likely your parents. It could have been this. This could have also been like running amok with your work, and you're getting fired and going to this individual and wanting them to take you in because you couldn't afford to pay your rent anymore because you got fired from your job. You got into a big fight with the boss, and you felt like you couldn't go back, or whatever the situation was, there was a conflict that arose between you and someone that you relied upon, and when that happened, you went to this departed loved one, assuming that they would take you in, take your side, give you money, whatever it was that you needed, and they wouldn't. They wanted you to stand on your own 2 feet, and you felt betrayed by that. So Spirit, thank you for that message. Loved one of group 1, what is it that was most important about this connection to you? Group 1, what is it that was most important to your loved one about this connection that you had? And I need a different deck. What is it that was most important to your departed loved one with regard to this connection with you? And that could be what was most important for you, group 1, or it could be what was most important for them. Spirit, what was most important with this connection? We have the 9 of Earth and the 5 of Cups reversed. So again, we've got the 5 of Cups showing up again. This time it's reversed. So the 5 of Cups is all about regrets. So reverse, what was important, yeah, and that makes sense with the 9 of Earth. What was important to your departed loved one is that you were able to mend this regret that you had, and make your relationship solid again and whole. We had the 9 of Pentacles here to represent the departed loved one, and we've got it again. So we're duplicating 2 different cards here with this question. And so some of the basic premises of where we started were very, very important to your departed loved one. It was extremely important to them that you could repair this break that you had, or this, what you felt was like a betrayal, with whoever it was, your loved ones, your parents, whoever it was, and that you could because they saw that you had that you have a very abundant life, and that's not the way I want to say it. Your life with your family is, even if you're still in this energy of feeling betrayed by them, of feeling like an outcast from them, this loved one sees that your family or your job or whatever it is that you've broken from is what gives you a sense of security, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of wholeness. Even though you either were or are still like pushing it away, and feeling like it didn't support you or they didn't support you when you needed it. Your loved one knows that repairing this connection is what will actually set you back on the road to being abundant in your life, to feeling whole, to feeling secure. And so they really want you to be able to get past this regret, to get past this sense of betrayal, to repair whatever this rift is, because by being separated from this family unit, this job, this career, this friend group, whatever it is that you have been separated from and feel like you have been cast out from, feel like you have been singled out or picked on, by healing this, by staying apart from this, you are hurting yourself, you're harming yourself. Not only is this disagreement or breakup or whatever this is festering, but you're also being held apart from the things in your life that will support you and will allow you to grow and will give you a sense of accomplishment and self-worth. So what is most important in this connection that your loved one has with you is that they help you to still see that it's so important that you repair whatever this tearing apart was, because it's going to give you a foundation where you can actually build a life that is rewarding for you and abundant for you, and gives you a sense of security, and gives you just something that will always be there for you, and that you can fall back on, and that you can depend on. But until you can repair this and get back in with whatever this is, this job, this family, whatever, you're just going to flounder and not be able to find your way back to the rewarding life that you had before. And so this loved one wants to help you see that and understand that. Let's see. Thank you, Spirit, for that message. Is there anything that this loved one, is there anything that you would change or emphasize with your loved one here in group 1? Is there anything that you would change about your relationship with them, or anything that you would point out or emphasize with them? Okay. So we got the librarian, which is the Hierophant. We got the Queen of Earth. The Six of Wands. We got the Fool. And we got the Sun. This is a really amazing energy here. I mean, this is an incredible energy. Your loved one believes that you basically have everything in your life that you could ever need, and that you are, I mean, just an amazing individual. There is a sense here of, the Mayoress of Earth, the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who is just rich and happy, and their life is full. The Hierophant is a teacher, someone who has great wisdom. The Fool is the energy of anything is possible, and the Sun is great happiness. The Six of Fire here, that's a celebration because you've worked so hard and you've won. So your loved one, they want you to know that you've got so much potential. You have got just potential in every corner, and you have got so many gifts, but they still are wanting you to understand that in order to fully realize all of these gifts and be able to really live in the energy of wisdom, of abundance, and of happiness, and of infinite possibilities, that we all need to have a solid foundation. We all need to have those who will back us up and who make us feel loved, And so your loved one is saying that, you have all of this potential, you have all of these things in your life, you have all of these things in your character, but that in order to fully realize all of these things, the happiness, the potential, the wisdom, the abundance, the celebration, you need this, whatever this group is. You need these individuals who will back you to the ends of the earth. So they want to emphasize to you again to please fix this, repair this disagreement, repair this break between you and these other individuals. So Spirit, thank you so much for those messages. Is there any additional message that you would like to give to your loved one here in group 1? departed loved one, is there any additional message that you would like to provide to your loved ones here in group 1? Okay. We got the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Fire, the 4 of Fire, the Tower, the 4 of Water, the 4 of Earth, oh my goodness, and the 9 of Swords. So we got 3 4s here, and 4 to me is family, or a stable group, a stable connection. You know, a square with 4 sides, 4 even sides, provides a stable foundation. And interestingly, even though you have 3 4s, you've also got the Tower. So they're saying that you have the potential here for this stable foundation. What you have distanced yourself from is your stable foundation. So without that stable foundation, we've got the 5 of Wands, which is just kind of a state of confusion, and this card in particular is like mental confusion, like just really not knowing what direction to go, not trusting any direction, and so between the Tower and I mean this confusion here, not knowing who to trust, is what is going to lead to, or could potentially lead to, this Tower moment where things crumble. The 4s are talking about, again, this source of support that you have, the source of security, this group, whether it's parents, whether it's, you know, co-workers, stable work group, whether it's a friend group, whoever this is that you are estranged from right now, that can provide you with the stability that you need to avoid this Tower moment, to clear up some of this confusion that you're having right now. The confusion may be about this estrangement, but the confusion is beyond that. It's not just about this estrangement. It's literally about everything in your life right now, because you've got nobody without these people that you know you can trust at your heart. At your heart, this 10 of Cups, you know that this is the group that loves you. You know that. But right now, you are isolated from them, and that is causing you to be very fearful of everything that comes up in your life, because you don't trust yourself to make a decision or to be able to handle things on your own. So the message that your loved one wants to give you is to, again, return to this stable group, this stable foundation that you have. You know, the fours here, the 4 of Water and the 4 of Earth, they talk about holding on to what you have, but they also talk about being afraid to let go of what you have, because you're afraid if you let go of what you have, you'll have nothing. So right now, you are in this energy of, potentially you are, if you're still estranged from this group, you're in this energy of, I don't want to address this. I don't want to change this because it might be even worse. I mean, that's the energy of both of these. If what I've got now is not enough and it doesn't feel good, but if I change it, it might get worse. So that's where your head is about, why you're not fixing this right now. But the thing is, this family group, this 10 of Cups here, they're waiting for you to come back, and they still have so much love for you. And the 4 of Wands here, they're this is a message, this is an announcement basically that you're back together again. So this whoever this estranged group is, they're waiting for you to come back, and they're going to welcome you with open arms. Why they're not reaching out to you, they're probably in this same energy that you are right now. But they will not hesitate to welcome you back. So all you need to do is to reach out, and they'll be there for you. Spirit, can I have, I feel like I want to clarify something here. I'm not sure what it is, though. Spirit, do you have any additional clarification on this question? Any additional clarification? Why, maybe, why this group's not reaching out? We've got the Queen of Water. We've got the World card. The 8 of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Water. The Queen of Wands. The King of Cups. And the 8 of Wands. Yeah, they're not reaching out because they're afraid of you being even further angered. It's like they're walking on eggshells. They're afraid to say anything to you because they don't want to push you even further away. So they're trying really hard to. It's like they're maybe trying little ways to kind of get back in touch with you. Maybe, sending you gift cards, or they're just working really hard to try and fix this, but only in little ways, because they don't want to upset you even more than you already are. So that's why they're not reaching out to you. They're kind of walking on eggshells. They don't want to upset you anymore. They want to give you some time to kind of get over what's been going on here. But they are absolutely waiting, and reaching out in small ways. Maybe like a comment on Facebook, or even a like or a love on Facebook with something that you posted. They're trying to connect, but they're just being really cautious about it because they're afraid of upsetting you even more. So that's the messages from your departed loved one. Let's see what oracle card we got. We got the Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones is the oracle card that we drew ahead of time. So let's take a look and see what this is. This is actually the first. This is the number 1 of this oracle cards. So, number 1. The Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones are the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and bone. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They're available to help us attain our full realization. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for Earth. Go ahead, find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. The medicine. The ancient ones beseech you to examine your attitudes and actions and be sure that they are of the highest integrity. Not forgiving an ancestor or yourself is keeping you from the freedom you seek. Remember, this is no longer your karma. You can break the chains that once bound you to family drama and be free of your generational curses. Forgive the ones you need to release. Honor your biological ancestors by lighting a candle to them tonight. So, the medicine of this card is to forgive your ancestors, to forgive your loved ones, to let go of the things that you've been holding on to that aren't serving you anymore. So I'd say that's pretty profound. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that things can work out. And I wish you all the best. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading. The purple sphere. The first message that we'd like to get is who's coming through for you. So Spirit, could you tell us who is coming through for Group 2? Who is their loved one that is coming through? Loved one, who are you that's coming through for Group 2? Okay, so we got the Knight of Cups, we got the World card, and we got the High Priestess. This is someone who you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with. Or you thought they were going to be very significant, at least in your life. You did not see an ending to this relationship. And it was, at least for you, a very emotional relationship. I'm feeling as though this relationship kind of became a little bit one-sided as things went on, or this individual may have been, yeah, I think that's what it is. This individual reached a place in their life where it was difficult for them to share emotion. It was difficult to share a connection for them. It was. They may have had depression. They may have had some other. They may have had, like, I'm seeing like some physical issues that kind of locked them in. They may have had some sort of an illness like Parkinson's or something like that that kind of, that locked them away from the world. They couldn't really communicate toward the end. That may not be the case for all of you, but for some of you, that definitely is what happened with this individual. This was someone that you had, at least initially, a very strong romantic and love relationship with them. I guess it wouldn't be romantic necessarily for everyone, but there was a very, very strong attachment here. And this individual, when they came into your life, it was in a big way. You know, if this was a romantic relationship, they swept you off your feet. If this was a friendship, they quickly became your best friend, and you there was no place that you'd rather be than hanging around with them. If this was a child of yours, which I feel like that's less likely, but if it was, they were someone that This was just someone who made you really happy and laugh and enjoyed your life, up until whatever this was that kind of took them away from you. Even though they were still here for a period of time, there wasn't much communication there anymore. It was as though something shifted. And I feel like this wasn't a sudden thing, that it kind of took some time for it to come about, but it ended up that they were just sort of almost trapped within themselves. And whether that was, psychologically, or if it was actually more of a physical thing that they couldn't communicate any longer. But that's who this individual was. Spirit, thank you for those messages. And what was their relationship to, how were they connected to group 2? Loved one, how were you connected to group 2, please? How were you and they connected? That's kind of too many. How were you connected? Okay, so the first card that came out was the Lovers. So I feel that for a large percentage of you, this individual was a romantic relationship, a spouse, a lover, a significant other. Wow. We got the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Again, we're seeing that this individual was held apart from you somehow. Yeah, it was almost as though you didn't see this coming. And suddenly they were just, they just weren't there with you anymore. Whether that's, emotionally they were no longer available, communication-wise they were no longer available, physically, they may have been locked in somehow physically, but they were just very much pulled away from you for some reason. And you did not see it coming. Spirit, why is the Page of Pentacles here? Why is the Page of Pentacles here? The Knight of Pentacles, the Star card, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. Yeah, you thought they were always going to be there for you. You thought it was the start of your life. You thought that when you got together with this individual, it was going to be the start of an incredibly long and incredibly wonderful relationship that was going to be very abundant. It was going to be your dream come true. It was going to be solid and steady and always be there for you. But there came a point when things changed, and the new reality was that was just an upheaval. It was just a huge upheaval. We got the Ace of Wands and the Tower. So this new reality was sudden. It was fiery. It was abrupt, and it was unexpected, and it just shook you to the core. So yeah, that's why the Ace of Pentacles is there, because you thought that this was going to be the start of something that was really solid, and then it ended up not being that. And whether that was intentional on this individual's part, your loved one, I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like it was something that they really had control over. I feel like this was something that kind of happened to them, but it really took you by surprise. So thank you, Spirit, for those messages. Group 2, what is your question that you have for your loved one? Spirit, what is the question that your loved one here in group 2 has for you? What is their question? Okay. Okay, so the first card that we had come out was the Nine of Swords. So, group 2, you want to know if your loved one was suffering. But in addition to that, we got the Three of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the King of Wands reversed. So I feel like group 2, you're actually questioning if your departed loved one like had a hand in this. If there was something that they did that created this situation. Spirit, can I get some more clarity here, please, on the Six of Wands? Why is this here? The Hermit. And the Two of Wands reversed. Yeah, I feel like at least for some of you, you're asking if your loved one purposely pulled away from you. And perhaps, okay, here it is. You want to know if you in some way caused their suffering and caused them to pull away from you, group 2. Yeah, that's what you want to know. You want to know if something that you did caused their suffering and caused them to pull away from you. Yeah, some action that was taken or something that happened. You're wanting to know if, gosh, I'm almost getting a feeling of, for some of you, there was something that was like a willful, like a comment that was said. There was something that was said that at the time you kind of almost took glee in saying this, and then at the time you almost felt like, haha, I won, and then it like flipped on you, and maybe there were signs that this was coming on, and you thought that it was more of you thought that they were just kidding, or you thought that they were exaggerating, or just playing around, just being goofy. Okay, yeah, so some of you regret something that you said, or the way you interpreted something that they did as just a joke or lighthearted or not as serious as it was. That's another possibility for some of you. You're wondering if you had caught this sooner, would the outcome have been different? So some of you are group 2, you're wanting to know because you feel as though you didn't take this seriously enough soon enough. Yeah. You feel like you didn't take this seriously enough early on, and so you're wanting to know, would it have made a difference in the outcome? And by the outcome, I don't know if that's just them being pulled away from you or pulling away from you, or if you mean their death. But either way, you're wanting to know, if you had taken this seriously sooner, would there have been a different outcome? Wow, that's heavy. So Spirit, and I need another deck. Spirit, what is your reply to group 2, please? Departed loved one, what is your reply to group 2? So we got the Three of Pentacles. We got the Judgment card. We got the Queen of Swords and the Emperor. I'm feeling as though they're saying that it could have made a difference, but that there's no changing that now. Nothing regretting that situation is not going to change the outcome now. They feel as though what you did at the time, how you acted at the time, was true to you. It wasn't that you were being insensitive. It wasn't that you were being harmful. You didn't do this on purpose. It might have made a difference if things had been addressed sooner, but neither one of you really knew any better. Here the Three of Pentacles talks about working together. So you both were kind of on the same page. You both didn't, I feel as though your loved one didn't want to look at this more closely. I feel as though there was some fear. I mean, the Queen of Swords here actually came out reversed. So I feel as though there was some reluctance to say anything about this. We've got the Emperor, which also came out reversed here. So I feel as though your loved one is saying that you both kind of maybe buried your heads in the sand, and actually this card is almost looking like that swan is nearly, it's looking at its reflection in the water. It's not looking up, it's looking down. So I feel as though what your loved one is saying is that if there had been action taken sooner, it may have changed the outcome. But the thing is that neither one of you knew any better, basically. Your departed loved one might have had some concerns, but they didn't want to look at them. They didn't, it was like, I don't want to jinx this. I don't want to say anything because then it might come true. So I feel like they were kind of, trying to downplay the situation or trying to ignore the situation. And you, because of that, very likely, didn't even realize that there was a situation, or that the situation maybe was what it was. I'm really feeling like your loved one presented the picture in such a way that until it got to the point where it was too far, you didn't even realize it, and there was no way that you could have realized it. I feel as though they were really good from either, and I don't think it was just hiding it from you. I think they were hiding it from themselves as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag what they're saying here. What they're saying is that had it been recognized earlier, the outcome may have been different, but neither one of you was recognizing it any earlier. So there's no way, there's nothing to change now, and there really was nothing that was done wrong then either. It just was what it was. So Spirit, thank you for that message. Is there something you'd like your loved one to know? Departed, is there something that you would like your loved one in group 2 to know? So we got the Nine of Swords. We got the Sun. We got the Six of Wands. We got the Queen of Wands reversed. And we got the Ten of Cups reversed. And the Nine of Wands came out kind of half and half. So the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Wands being reversed here, and the Nine of Wands kind of being reversed. Your loved one is relating these cards to each other by reversing them. So they're saying that they don't want you to turn away from. I get the feeling that you have. You're someone who can be creative and fiery and like somebody who is a go-getter, somebody who is bold and steps out of their comfort zone and loves to do exciting things and creative things and just dance at the drop of a hat. You know, just the kind of person who is passionate and who is also very loving. And so your loved one is saying that they don't want you to get mired in the energy of the loss of them and the ruminating about what might have been if things had been different. They're telling you they don't want you to get stuck in this energy of the Nine of Swords, this depression and despair and regret, because you are this very passionate and loving individual. So the cards that we got upright were the Six of Wands, which is the celebration or the success card, winning in your life, and the Sun, which is the happiness card. So the message that your loved one wants to bring through is that you are this person who is outgoing, who is joyful, who is passionate, who is loving. They want you to be back in this reality of who you are. They feel as though you have been kind of trapping yourself in this energy of despair, of sadness, of grief. So they want to urge you to find that loving, compassionate, passionate, creative individual, so that your life again can be something to celebrate and that you can be happy. So that's their message to you. They love you. They know who you are. They love the passionate person, the passionate, loving person that you were when they met you, and they want you to find your way back to that. So let's take a look at the oracle card that we pulled. The oracle card is Stand Still. Stand Still. So let's take a look and see what this one is about. Okay, stand still. The essence of this card. When stand still appears, it is a symbol of pausing, the act of observation and breathing space. It represents the benefits of temporary non-action, as well as what happens when one is stuck. The invitation. When things seem to stall or stagnate, or when you feel stuck, the symbol appears as a reminder that constant action isn't going to get you where you want to go. Perhaps it's time to gather more information or just wait until the universe makes the next move. No matter what, this moment is a beautiful gift, orchestrated in your favor. Enjoy it. Let the universe bring all the parts together for the highest good. Go and play, recharge, and take the focus off whatever has stalled. Life will get busy again for you sooner than you think. The medicine of this card. Time to get out of analysis paralysis. Standstill invites you to turn within, breathe, and recognize this is the condition of the moment. It allows you the opportunity to bear witness to whatever is going on before movement resumes. This is also an opportunity to abort a project, to exit before damage. And it may also be time to relieve you of an unnecessary burden that you took on without considering the cost. Which one it is depends on your stopping, taking a deep breath, quieting your mind, and removing all your distractions. Then you can make your next move in a grounded, relaxed, detached way. When something doesn't go the way you think it should, remember the following. What is yours cannot be taken away. So this card urges you to let go of the burden that you took on without considering the cost. So the burden of this situation, just like your loved one is urging you to let go of that burden, to get back to who you are. So this card is saying that in order to do that, take a moment for yourself. Don't try to be busy to outrun any grief that you might have, to quiet the voices, to quiet your heart, to insulate yourself. Just take a moment to be quiet, maybe some meditation, just sitting outside on a beautiful day, drinking a cup of coffee, whatever it takes. Just to forgive any blame that you're placing on yourself, to experience any grief that you need to go through, and to let that go. So I hope this reading has helped. Beautiful loved one who came through for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through this difficult phase with them, but as we all are once we leave this plane, they are now relieved from the burden of whatever it was that was detaching them when they were here, that was keeping them trapped or keeping them locked in. They're not that way anymore. They're happy, and they want you to be happy too. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Hi, Group 3. This is your reading, the Chakra Sphere. The first message that we would like to get, please, Spirit, is who's coming through for Group 3? Departed loved one, who are you for Group 3? Who is this individual? Okay. We got the World card. Got the Seven of Cups reversed. We got the Page of Wands. And we got the Six of Wands. Okay, this was an individual who was very, very decisive. This was somebody who never hesitated to do whatever needed to get done. They were probably the one, like if you had a group of people, a big group of people, and nobody knew, what to do, what should we do now, where should we go, this would be the individual who would make that decision. And everybody looked to them to make that decision. They would be the ones to say, okay, well, let's go here. And everybody would be like, yeah, that sounds great. And off you'd go. So that was this individual. They were the ones who, always got all of the details together. Like if there was a gathering that was supposed to happen, they were the ones who kind of took charge of things, made sure that everything worked out okay, that everything flowed smoothly. They just were that person who everything always seemed to work for them. And it wasn't that everything worked for them. They made everything work. They could make things work. And it wasn't like they forced anything to work. They just knew how to make everything fall together so that it all worked together perfectly. Yeah, they were like the first one to jump in and volunteer too. It wasn't as though somebody was like, "Yeah, can you do this?" They'd be like, "Oh, hey, sure, I can. I can handle that for you. Let's get that going." And they were upbeat. They were, and they were somebody who was very creative too. So it wasn't like they did the same thing over and over and over again. If there was a gathering to be had, they were the one who would like, well, let's have a new theme this time. Let's do it this way. Let's go to this place. Let's go to a new place. They were the kind of person who was just full of life and vibrant, and the first one to jump in and help everybody. So that's who this is that's coming through for your group 3. So Spirit, thank you for that message. Thank you, departed loved one. So how, departed loved one, how were you related to group 3? How were you related or connected to group 3, please? Okay. We got the King of Swords reversed. We got the 10 of Swords. We got the Strength card reversed, the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the 2 of Wands reversed. Well, let's see here. How were you related or connected to group 3? I am feeling as though this individual was not specifically a blood relation to you. I'm feeling as though they may have been an adoptive parent, or they may have been someone that you kind of adopted as a parent or as a, like, yeah, I'm getting a parent vibe. I was going to say like a roommate, but this definitely seems like an older individual to you. And that this is someone who kind of took you in when your life wasn't going very well. And I don't know that they necessarily took you in as in you went to live for them or live with them, but they took you in as in you may have gone to live with them, but this is an individual who provided you support when your life was kind of not going very well, potentially even sort of falling apart in a fast way. There was a time when you felt like you couldn't understand what was going on in your life. Nothing was clear. You felt like you just couldn't go on anymore. You didn't have the strength to go on. You just were feeling really unsure of yourself. There was a decision that you needed to make potentially, and you couldn't do it. You just were like stuck. Everything was like too much all at once. A lot of stuff was just sort of caving in all at once. So I don't know if this is potentially even you had a parent or someone die that was a caregiver for you, and you were just basically kind of out in the cold, and this individual took you in. Or it could have been like something like you moved to a new city and you didn't know anyone, and this was someone maybe that you met at maybe you moved for a new job, and this was someone that you met there at this job, and they provided kind of a touchstone for you, someone who kind of helped you learn the city, help you learn where things were, help you learn how to get around. They invited you over for dinner. They may have even, like I said, you may have been a roommate with them. They may have invited you to live with them because, it could be, I'm not seeing financial stuff here, so I don't think it was so much that you had financial difficulties. I just feel like you were kind of, you just felt like you were suddenly out in the cold. You were suddenly dealing with a lot of stuff that was tough, and you just didn't feel like you had the tools to do it. And this individual was there for you, and helped you kind of get back on your feet again. So that's how this individual was connected to you. So let's see, what else do we want to know? What was most important, departed, and thank you, Spirit, for that message. What was most important to you about this relationship? Or group 3, what was most important to you about this relationship? It goes either ways. What was the most important thing in this relationship? In this connection? What was important? What was memorable? Okay. Okay. Well, we got the 3 of Pentacles, the Lover's card, the 2 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and the 5 of Swords. And so what was most important in this relationship is that you saw each other as equals. You had this connection, and you genuinely felt that each of you contributed to this relationship equally, not the same necessarily, because again, I feel like this is an individual who was either like older than you or had more experience than you, but you contributed to the relationship in a way that was equally as important to them as they were to you. And this wasn't something that depended on money. This wasn't like they bailed you out when you couldn't make ends meet. It wasn't a superficial relationship at all. It wasn't based on, I can get this from you. I can take from you what I need. It wasn't that way. It wasn't a relationship that had, if both of you had been absolutely penniless and not had anything, to physically give each other, that wouldn't have mattered. That absolutely would not have mattered to this relationship. This relationship was a relationship in which the two of you came together to each bring your own piece to the puzzle and to create a really, really whole and satisfying relationship. And both of you felt like that you were getting as much from the relationship as the other one was too. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't like this one was taking care of you and, you were just, oh, poor me. This individual, they did provide care for you, and they did provide, helping you with this maybe new city, whatever it was that you needed some guidance with. They provided you guidance. But you also provided them companionship, and you provided them, maybe if it was a much older individual, they may have not been as able to get out and do the things that they needed to do, like shopping and whatnot, and so you may have provided that for them. But it was beyond that. It was like there was a connection. Sorry about that. I just hit my microphone. There was a connection with between the two of you that was much deeper than that. It wasn't just emotional either. There was like an intellectual connection between the two of you. There was kind of a give and take, where you taught each other things, and so there may have been a generational distance between the two, and they may have taught you things like, foundational kind of stuff, like how things came about, and back maybe they had a stable family that they grew up and you didn't. So they kind of taught you some of those values, whereas you may have come in, perhaps if you were younger, and taught them kind of more, like technology and how to navigate the way things are now. And that's just an example. That's not necessarily the way it was. But you each brought something to the relationship that was very distinct, but equally as important and equally as valuable to create this relationship, even though it was very different what you brought to the relationship. You both really appreciated each other, and so it was really a great relationship. You brought a lot of value to each other. So let's see, what else do we want to know? Departed loved one, thank you for that message. And is there anything that you would have changed or would like to emphasize or would have emphasized about the relationship? Is there anything that would have been different, or anything that you really want to emphasize about the relationship? Okay. Well, we got the Three of Wands, the Four of Swords reversed, and the King of Pentacles. And I'm getting the feeling that this departed loved one has concerns that they held you back. They feel as though they kept you from realizing your full potential, almost like you felt obligated to them. That's their concern for you. I'm very much feeling like this is that you're going to say that's not the case, but that's what I'm seeing here, that they feel like they held you back from being able to really realize your full potential, like go out into the world and make your way, because they are worried that you felt obligated to stay with them rather than go out and make your fortune, or whatever that looks like. So I guess what I want to know now is what is your reply to your departed loved one? Departed loved one, this is what your group 3 would like to tell you about that. We got the Five of Cups reversed, we got the Moon card, and we got the Seven of Pentacles. So departed loved one, group 3 says that they had no regrets about being in this relationship with you. You helped them see things about themselves that they wouldn't have been able to see otherwise, that they wouldn't have. You helped them to see their potential. Group 3, your departed loved one helped you to see your potential and to really be able to grow into who you are now. So you have no regrets with this relationship. So I hope I'm getting that right, but that's what I'm seeing here. So departed loved one, group 3 had no regrets with being in this relationship with you. You really, you helped them a great deal. So departed loved one, is there a message that you'd like to give to your loved one here in group 3? What is the message from the departed loved one to group 3, please? We got the Wheel of Fortune, we got the Knight of Cups, we got the Five of Pentacles reversed, we got the Judgment card, came out kind of sideways, we got the Four of Cups and the Page of Cups. So, group 3, your departed loved one is basically telling you to throw caution to the wind. I think they feel like you're being a little withdrawn, that you're not getting out there. I feel like that's kind of what started this relationship in the first place, that you didn't really feel very confident in yourself. You were kind of maybe shy, or you were not, just didn't really feel like you could get out there on your own, that you were kind of inhibited, or you felt like you needed somebody to back you. your departed loved one is saying you don't need anybody else. That have you have a great big heart, to begin with. You have a big heart. You're a very caring individual, and sometimes that can hold you back. Your departed loved one is saying that sometimes, because you have such a caring heart about other people, sometimes you don't want to step on toes. Sometimes you're afraid of what other people think of you. But your departed loved one is saying to you that they want you just to go for it. They want you to get out there, not hold back, absolutely not hold back, and they believe that you have this amazing potential, that you don't even recognize in yourself, but they recognize it, and they, even though they're not here to continue to help you see this potential, which I think is part of what this relationship was about, at least to them. Even though they're not still here, they want you to, remember the connection that you had with them, and how you felt when you were with them, because they still want you to feel supported. They're still here supporting you. They're absolutely here supporting you. And they just, there's no other way I can interpret this. They just want you to go for it. They want you not to be inhibited, not to be within yourself, not to be alone, because you just have this really just beautiful big heart, but you just don't realize your own potential. You don't trust yourself to get to the next level, but you can. You've got it all here in spades. You're very capable. They are here with you, and they are trusting you to do this, and they're just telling you to go for it. Just go for it. They're here with you, and they believe in you. So what a beautiful reading. Let's take a look at the oracle card that we have here. We got the Sweat Lodge. Interesting. All right, let's see what the message of the Sweat Lodge is. The Sweat Lodge. Okay. The Sweat Lodge represents the womb of Mother Earth. Volcanic stones are heated in a fire outside, then brought into the lodge and placed in a shallow hole in the center. Participants, sorry, I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Participants sit in complete darkness around red-hot stones to sweat away old habits and beliefs and heal disease. When you return humbly to the womb of the mother, you are offered second chances. This is a time to journey inward into the dark and hidden places of your soul to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle. Observe what emerges, and without judging it, invite it to bring you its gifts. You are being offered an opportunity to shed and heal from the aspects of your life you have outgrown. Do not worry that you will be consumed by the process. Life is offering you a second chance. Take it. Since this chance may not come your way again for a while, Mother Earth is calling you into her womb and inviting you to incubate as long as needed for a spiritual rebirth. Gift yourself time to be with your darkness, your fears, your pain, and your seeds of beautiful potential until you come out the other side free, wise, and full of creativity. Your seeds of beautiful potential. That was one of the cards that we had here that your loved one wanted you to know. This is the card of seeding your potential. So, beautiful message. Your loved one is again telling you, you have planted the seeds. You have this amazing potential. Just go for it. And you don't have to go for it in a hurry. I mean, that's what this card is saying. This card is saying, take the time to let things germinate, to let things develop, but know that that potential is there. It's in you. this individual, your loved one, knows that you've seeded that potential because they helped you do it. So they want you to reap the fruits of that potential that you have in your own time, but don't be afraid to do it because you've got the potential. You've planted the seeds. They helped you nurture those seeds, and they're going to come to fruition very soon. So they want you to know that. They believe in you. So what a gorgeous reading. This was just really, really a beautiful reading, and you have a beautiful loved one. I'm sorry that they passed, but they are still here with you. And wow, what an amazing support they're providing. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and good luck as you move forward in your life. It sounds like it's going to be a beautiful life. So thank you for being here with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.